9. Yeah, he's here, guys! The meat man! The meat man! I don't like the meat. I don't like the meat man! Now, I was reading the comments on some of my recent videos when I noticed a few of you talk about an analog horror called Vita, Carnis. And from what I can see, we have already reacted to some clips from this series on the main channel. So I started digging, trying to figure out what Vita Carnis actually is, and got hit with a spoiler warning immediately before I read anything. So instead, let's dive straight into the videos and see what this is all about together. If you do enjoy these reaction videos and want to see some more of this channel, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. Now, let's watch some scary videos. We have an entire playlist here called Vita Carnis Viewing Order. So what we're gonna do is put this on full screen and take it from the start. Warning, this video talks about... Oh, okay. I've only seen like one clip on the federal law provides severe civil and criminal penalties for the unauthorized viewing of this footage. Any reproduction, distribution, or display. The possession of this footage may lead to an investigation and detention. If released from custody and apprehended, well, 500,000. So if I watch this, guys, can I have a disk drive in my PC. Can I just like shove it in? We make like bootleg Vita Carnis and then we like distribute it to people.
On planet Earth, life has thrived for millions of years. Creatures big and small have found ways to adapt and evolve to flourish in all types of environments.
Yeah.
From barren wastes to lush forests, life can be found.
And then the humans came in and basically ruined everything, right?
Earth has owned these creatures since the dawn of life itself. Only until very recently, things have changed. New life forms have appeared all around the globe and completely changing the balance of nature and what we know about evolution itself. That is why we, at National Living Meat Research, have been studying these new species, trying to help educate everyone about these creatures and their wondrous ways of life. First, what are these new life forms? Since their explosive arrival across the globe in 1931, there has been much debate on what these newcomers are and where they came from.
Wait, so they went above the chart?
These newcomers are and where they came from.
Holy shit, they skyrocketed after 10 years.
Are they coming to invade Earth? Or are they demons who come from hell to purge humanity? From what our scientists have discovered, no. The origins of these creatures are solely to Earth, miraculously out of nowhere. We don't know why or how, but one thing is for certain, Earth is now their home. What these creatures are is mysterious and still not well known today.
So they just appeared from one day to...
But here's what we do know.
From one day to another?
These creatures are comprised mainly of muscle tissue, organs,
so they're
and
human.
bone.
They're basically human is what you're telling me.
They greatly resemble animals with no skin, or store-bought meat. Because of these characteristics, they have been named accordingly as Vita Carnis.
Vita Carnis.
The Carnis species consumed...
But what does Vita Carnis... Is it Latin for something? Can we find like a Latin translator real quick? Translate Latin. It is Latin! It's called The Life of the Flesh. Dude, I need like a like and subscribe for that. I'm actually 200 IQ.
Organic matter.
The life of the flesh.
Their main diet is composed of raw meat, not including their Carnis relatives.
You forgot to change game? Oh, damn, my bad. Game just chatting. There we go, guys.
The Carnis is composed of raw meat, not including their Carnis relatives. The Carnis only appear in places where there is an abundance of crawl, which leads to the first creature of the Carnis species, the crawl. The crawl is a growth of meaty tendrils that closely resemble the small intestine, the only difference being the dark red coloration. These tendrils grow in a similar pattern as vines, mold, or fungi.
But it's meat vines instead.
A primary stem structure is the host to divisions of other, smaller branches. In each tendril contains a variety of veins, arteries, and other similar organs used to transport nutrients.
So it's like
a
plant, but it's living.
The ends of these tendrils are equipped with organelles used to absorb water and organic matter necessary for growth. The source of these organic materials is mainly found in dirt and soil on surrounding surfaces.
So they come from
using its root-like tendrils,
Earth.
It absorbs the material and processes it into usable energy. Although, the crawl also obtains energy through another means.
Humans?
Using a sophisticated form of photosynthesis. The dark pigmentation of the smaller branches is ideal for absorbing sunlight, and therefore allowing solar energy to fuel the crawl's growth.
Minimal effort, maximum flavor. Order now. Thank us later.
Because of its efficiency, it thrives in almost all types of environments, easily allowing.
Wait. There's only this one got filled in. You can see like you can't see my mouse, but not Mexico. Is it Mexico? There's like one part that is not filled in, and then suddenly boom, it's filled in.
To spread across the world and can be found pretty much anywhere.
Even in my country?
Its recent
My country? Oh, it is. I mean, technically, it is on the map.
Thrives in almost all types of environments, easily allowing it to spread across the world and can be found pretty much
That's
anywhere.
That's Brazil, dude. I'm stupid. I'm sorry.
Its recent
I'm sorry.
inclusion in the ecosystem has caused many major changes in nature's balance. One may assume that the crawl's presence may outcompete any other competitors, but due to its unique life cycle, where old branches fall off and decay into nutrient-rich compost,
and then it
all
goes
forms
back.
of life seemingly flourish instead.
Right.
The crawl's abundance grants plenty of nourishment to all animals, from plants feeding on the decayed crawl, herbivores thriving on increased plant population.
Wait, so we're talking about the meat plants, like not carnivores? What is it called? The one anime on Netflix where furries like eat each other? Carnivores, they eat the plants, and then carnivores eat the meat plants, and then herbivores eat the normal plants, right?
And carnivores feeding on both the abundant prey and are able to eat the crawl as well.
Yeah.
The presence of all these animals leave behind waste, which will be broken down and consumed by the crawl, and the cycle begins again.
So it's
this
not
form
it's
of
not disrupting
symbiosis
anything.
Leads to an environment where all populations
Beastars,
thrive.
yeah.
Humanity also uses the crawl to our advantage. Because of the supernatural rate of growth and its richness in nutrients, it has been.
Sorry, what happened?
Because of the supernatural rate.
Oh, I thought radio tower overgrowth with crawl. So they're also growing on like metal structures, which could not be good for us in any way.
Its richness in nutrients, it has been sustainably cultivated into domestic farms. The crawl is harvested and processed into fertilizer, which greatly increases crop yield and quality. The crawl may also be used as a food source for humans, and reliably so. But due to its unkindly appearance and taste, it has yet to reach cuisine standards. The crawl also plays a very important role in the next creatures that we have been studying. Sometimes, in a crawl-populated environment, a node of meat may develop on one of the branches. This node will fall off and grow into a functioning organism, and go to live on as an independent animal. This leads us to the upcoming species that we will be discussing. The first of these creatures are the trimmings.
Oh, I love secrets. I love secrets. That is a king, a queen, and their child. That looks like the Opera GX logo almost. And there's another secret, wasn't there? There was another image. Or am I completely... No? That was the first video, okay? We're gonna go straight on to the second one. The trimmings.
The trimmings. Trimmings are small animals that resemble skinned raccoons. They are commonly known to have a plump body,
they look like
round
a
head,
giant
small
leech.
eyes, nose and ear holes, and an agape mouth.
Why he looks like he's about to bust though. Why does he look like, I don't even know if they have a gender. Why does it look like that, Chad?
They are also equipped with a diversity of limbs. All individual trimmings are unique, each with a different body shape, number of limbs, and other characteristics.
So it's like a Pokemon, you have like different
evolutions. One thing they all share in common is that they are made mostly of meat tissue, and are a maximum of 20 centimeters in length.
So since they are made of meat, could you like technically eat them? I know that they said that humans are living off the trimmings as well, but they haven't like quite met they haven't quite met cuisine standard yet, but couldn't they just like eat the trimmings?
No larger than a basketball.
So you could play basketball
with it. Its life starts with its separation from the crawl. It will wonder to find anything that is edible and able to consume. Although it is an omnivore, being able to hunt meat and forage for plant matter, trimmings are almost entirely scavengers. Their diet consists of rotting plants and meat, including, but not limited to, fruits, vegetables, roots, seeds, insects, and deceased animals. Although its appearance is unsightly, it is a cowardly creature, only fleeing, screeching, and hiding when threatened.
So you don't hunt anything?
Because
You
of
live
its
in the
lack of
corners?
defensive traits, it lies near the bottom of the food chain, making it easily
makes
overpowered
sense.
and picked off.
It makes totally sense because if it's kind of useless and it doesn't like know how to prey on like actual living beings, on living animals, it makes sense that it tries to like cower away and slide away whenever that happens.
Naturally, its population would eventually die out. This is not the case.
Oh!
Naturally, its population would eventually die out.
Mass trimming infestation. Estimated 400 plus trimmings gathered under a large abandoned satellite dish. Something, I can't read the rest, but that was probably the radio tower they talked about, right? The trimmings, the trimmings growing on the radio tower. And that's
This is not the case.
Musim perayaan ini kuatkan dalaman, meriahkan sambutan.
The crawl constantly produces a large quantity of trimming nodes, keeping up their numbers. Naturally, trimmings can be found wherever there is abundant crawl.
So it's worldwide.
Trimmings grow at a decent pace, reaching maturity at around 7 months, having a maximum lifespan of 2 to 4 years. Although they are plentiful, humanity has no proper way to implement trimmings into society. Their overabundance has even considered them pests, due to them digging through trash bins and making excessive noise at
So
night.
you can't eat them? Is what I'm thinking. Like there's no way that you
Besides all
can.
of this, some people still keep trimmings as pets.
What? Keep that thing as a. I mean, I can understand some people having like hairless cats, like a sphinx, not a sphinx, having hairless animals as a pet. But this one, it's just a lump of meat. Why would you have princess? Ew! Why would you have a lump of meat as a pet?
Relatively domesticate them. Nuisance or not, trimmings are a wondrous creature.
What?
From their plentiful numbers to their skittish nature, they are truly
That's a
thing
dog?
to behold. The next species on our list is the meat snake.
Oh, hold. Another secret? Ah, yes, another one of my trinkets. Dude, sometimes I honestly wish that I could read. During the something, a great storm something swayed the boat and pushed the prince. Wait, that's the story. There was a royal family, queen, king, child. And this is probably the story that it's telling. So someone got overboard because of the storm.
The meat snake. The meat snake is a worm-like creature, made of a variety of types of meat, coated in a transparent, skin-like membrane. Its size varies.
Hold on. Meat snake. I can't read all of that.
Coated in a
The transparent coating that acts like a brain, and the nervous system holds the body together and contains the preservative fluids to keep the meat and the guns from something. So there's some. Okay, so the snake is made out of like different meat parts, and the membrane that is on top is basically keeping it all together. So if you ruin or destroy the membrane or damage the membrane, it's basically dead. So it's also a very fragile being.
transparent, skin-like membrane. Its size varies during its lifespan, depending on how much it consumes. When it first separates from the crawl, it is only a few centimeters in length. Eventually, it will reach an average length of 5 meters. Although, under extreme conditions, like natural disasters, war, or plague, it can greatly surpass this length.
It can greatly
Like
surpass
natural
what?
Disasters, war, or plague, it can greatly.
Largest meat snake ever discovered. During a sweep of underground settlements made during the war, a massive-sized meat snake was discovered, stuck inside the underground railway. The beast was measured to a total of 40 meters in length. It is believed that the bodies gathered during the war were fed to the creature, causing it to reach the unbelievable size. Something cult activity. So if you keep on feeding it, it can basically survive forever?
Surpass this length. The meat snake's diet consists entirely of dead animals or parts. A meat snake is incapable of consuming a healthy, living organism.
So it has to be decayed.
The meat snake allocates its
The meat snake's tongue. The meat snake shares great resemblance to something snake, tongue being able to feel their environment and collect something.
by using a tongue-like organ covered in sensors to touch and feel its environment. The sensors catch particles of decaying meat, notifying the meat snake that there is food nearby. This process shares many similarities to regular snakes, hence the meat snake's name. Once it locates the corpse, the meat snake will open its jaw and swallow the entire body whole. Once the entire body is consumed, the meat snake's stomach will release a variety of chemicals. Some will break down soft tissue like skin and the connection points between muscles. Others chemicals will then ferment and preserve the tissue to keep it from breaking down for as long as possible.
Why the tissue?
After that, the remaining flesh and bones will move along the meat snake's tract and slowly be implemented into its own structure, extending the meat snake. Unsatisfactory parts like skulls, pelvises, hair, and fingernails will be excreted.
That is so...
Speaking of skulls, the meat snake will take the skull from the consumed organism and use it as its own. Each meat snake has its own skull, each corresponds...
Dude, that's a human! So they do actually eat humans. That's a rhinoceros. Rhinoceros, and that's probably a deer. So you have deer, rhinoceros, and human. So, yeah, since it's a meat snake, it doesn't have any bones. So the first creature it actually gulps up is the skull that they use to basically, like, form a skeleton around them to keep the brain safe.
Responding to what that one has consumed.
Alhamdulillah.
To what that one has consumed. During its lifespan, it will swap or replace these skulls if needed.
So you just keep the skull inside until you gotta swap it out, or do you like gather a new one? The fuck?
Meat snake's lifespan depends entirely on how much a meat snake consumes. The longest one has lived for was 28 years. The meat snake has no predators and is immune to disease due to its preserving chemicals. The only significant ways a meat snake can die is through starvation, burning, or complete destruction of the meat snake's membrane coating. Interestingly, the meat snake is the only member of the Carnis family that is able to reproduce. When a meat snake reaches an excessive size and is in the conditions to do so, it will commence mitosis, splitting itself in two. Then the now two meat snakes will go on their separate ways and live on as two distinct organisms.
This is
Meat snakes can only...
This is actually terrifying. Is there any other animals that does the same shit where you like I know chameleons, like some creepy crawlers, if you cut off the arms or like their tails, they can basically regrow limbs. But I've never seen like situations where an animal can literally split into two and just keep on living. Cells within cells interlinked, yeah. Oh, dude, that is creepy. So that means that one meat snake in the underground that was over 40 meters long can basically duplicate into another meat snake.
Only be found in moderate temperature climates, not too hot, not too...
My country is done, guys. I live up here. I'm like right here, Chad. So So my only way to I gotta go USA. I gotta go like lower parts, Mexico. We go Mexico, or we go all the way down to the bottom of Brazil.
Too cold. Their population depends entirely on the amount of corpses available. Where there is death, there are meat...
I can just imagine. Where there is death, there is meat snakes. So they camp outside of hospitals, nursing homes, graveyards, and as soon as there is a new bloody body waiting for consumption, it just be like... Imagine if there is a meat snake cult. Like if you have like an insider working for a nursing home, that whenever a person dies, instead of like writing it up or something, you just drag them outside into the cult, feed it to the meat snake, and you just, what would the point be? Because the meat snakes only go for like decayed animals. If a meat snake is big enough Do you think it will go through for living beings, or will it keep on going for only dead creatures?
Humanity will use them to our advantage. Meat snakes are a very efficient and clean way of disposing of any meat products. The preserving fluid within the meat snake's body disinfects the carrion, preventing the spread of disease.
So plague.
Humans use meat snakes in butcher shops as a waste bin, dispose roadkill, within war on the battlefield to dispose of festering bodies and parts, and within zoos to dispose of deceased animals.
That is so messed
They
up.
are extremely tame, not caring of any.
Hi, hey, hi, splish, splash, splish, splash, hi, hi, hi. He's tame?
Creature.
You're telling me he's tame?
They are extremely tame, not caring if any creature is around them, only acting defensively when it is within consuming a meal. This means they are very easy to tame.
So you would keep...
Overall, meat snakes are a marvelous creature with a very interesting way of sustaining itself. It is an amazing experience to encounter one, as long as you don't mind the smell.
of dying, rotting meat.
Our next creature is the mimic.
That's the meat man! That's the meat man!
Our next creature is the mimic.
After being stranded at sea, the young prince eventually was cast to an island injured. The prince stumbled his way into a nearby cave. The prince used the magic that he could to put himself into a healing sleep. I'm not ready for the meat man. The meat man actually... Super Meat Boy scares the shit out of me, dude.
The mimic.
The mimic! True. I gotta translate that. Hold on, I'm opening up Google. The slaughter of the flesh.
The mimic is a bipedal creature with uncanny similarities to humanoid anatomy. They greatly resemble humans without skin, with added exaggerated features. These features include extended finger length, longer limbs, bulging, empty eyes, and their most prominent feature, a wide, teeth-filled smile. Although it resembles a happy face, this is due to coincidence, and is only how
mouth contains the entirety of something with a few something predators.
Coincidence, and is only how their facial structure is shaped. The
mouth contains almost
much more
entirely
teeth than humans, and their teeth is comprised almost entirely of incisors, with some canine and premolars in the back.
Yeah, okay, I see. So
This tooth composition is ideal for biting down onto meat and swallowing chunks whole. A mature mimic's diet is comprised entirely of human flesh. Of human flesh?
Someone just printed an image, guys. Oh, hell nah. Nah, it's a meat man. Yo, it's bedtime. Good night, baby girl. I see you. I would drop kick him. Oh, nah. It's a meat. Of human flesh?
Down onto meat and swallowing chunks whole. A mature mimic's diet is comprised entirely of human flesh.
Of human flesh? Someone just printed an image, guys. Oh, hell nah. Nah, it's a meat man. Yo, it's bedtime. Good night, baby girl. I see you. I would drop kick him. I would literally do a drop kick from Dying Light and just leave the house after. If this guy was like, "Yo, shit, man, it's nighttime. It's nighttime." Nah. I don't like the way when he says they live off of human remains or like human body parts, and he's just staring at me like that.
A mature mimic's diet is comprised entirely of human flesh. Because of this, they are found solely around human-populated areas.
I'm still dead.
The mimic's life cycle is made of 3 stages. In the first stage, a young mimic separates from the crawl. They closely resemble their trimming relatives, but are thin, sleek, and only have 4 appendages.
Nah.
In this stage, the young mimic will hunt small animals, moving on to larger and larger as they grow.
Nah.
Once large enough, it will begin metamorphosis into the next stage of life.
Metamorphosis!
Once fully
Metamorphosis!
transformed, it will resemble the description mentioned in the beginning.
So there's another
Its
one!
hunting style changes and
Nah. Mimic locked in Sime home after owner escaped. Nah. Dude, nah. Shotgun.
becomes much more complicated. It now stalks and feeds only on humans.
Are they
It will locate human.
Are they smart enough is what I'm
It now
thinking.
stalks and feeds only on humans.
I'm wondering if there's, like, can they actually think, like...
It will locate human populated area and begin its search for an easy target. To blend in, it may use objects to conceal itself. These include clothing, mannequins, and furniture.
Can you imagine, like, coming home after a long day, be like, honey, I'm home, and absolutely silence, you don't hear anything. You go into your living room, you spot your favorite living room couch, you sit in it, and then suddenly the arms of the chair rise, the claws, like, go into you, and the headrest turns into the mimic, and it just started like, so they are predators. They are worse than Minecraft YouTubers, dude. They are also smarter than Minecraft YouTubers.
Once a target has been found, the mimic will observe its prey and learn its routine and when it is most vulnerable.
Yes!
This is typically when the human is asleep at night. Once the prey is within position, the mimic will advance silently until it is close enough. The mimic will then execute and immediately begin consumption. Once the mimic has had its fill, it will leave the scene, a fair distance away from the human population,
To begin metamorphosis
and begin
again.
to digest its meal.
What did it say?
Population, and begin to digest
Stationary mimic found outside of town, presumably digesting last night's
its
meal.
meal.
But how do you kill it?
Although, in the case that a human is awake, a mimic will use a variety of sounds to either lure or
Fuck my environment. I was not prepared for that, dude. I am really interested in this story, and you just, don't call me an NPC, guy. That's not even funny, guys. That's not even funny. That actually scared the shit out of me. I got so scared, I literally switched languages, dude.
In the case that a human is awake, a mimic will use a variety of sounds to either lure or startle prey into cornering themselves. Once a human is in place, it will swiftly attack and kill the helpless target.
I think this might have been the clip that I've seen of the meat man, like, breaking in. Nine. Oh! Yeah, this is the clip I've seen. Yeah. On a scary Discord memes video. I've seen this clip several times. Turn off the lights, dude. Turn off the lights. Just turn off the lights. It's here. He's here. Night. Stop. Yeah, he's here, guys! The meat man! I don't like the meat man! I don't like the meat man, guys. I don't like Nye. Oh my god, he is actually terrifying, dude. Oh, look at oh my god, his eyes. No, nuh-uh. No, dude.
The next stage of the mimic's life cycle has two potential morphs it may develop
So
into.
it's worse.
If a mimic has a consistent supply of food, it will develop more human-like features. It will grow skin, hair, and by the end will look nearly identical to a human being. It now can blend entirely into civilization and
What?
lure other humans more effectively.
You know
What's the
second
other?
type of morph happens when a mimic receives an overabundance of food. It will grow into a larger, more evolved hunter. Its proportions will increase.
The elder mimic anatomy. Teeth line, something, throat, jaw.
In length, and its humanoid features will fade away. It grows a thick, dark coat.
Thick, flexible coating provides protection against and allows mobility?
Coating of a flexible skin, which is highly durable, and increases in strength the more the elder mimic consumes. This excludes the face, which is now coated in a pale pink skin. The mimic's teeth have also moved deeper into the mimic's throat.
Teeth line back of throat used to pull them down while also shredding it as they progress downwards.
Leaving its mouth a toothless grin. It uses the dark hue of its skin
Dark
to hide
color provides
seamlessly within a
excellent camo in dark environments.
Its skills have also been heightened. This makes an elder mimic one of the most efficient predators on the planet. Because of the obvious threat this poses on humanity, nations around the world have released instructions on how to be able to fend for yourself in a mimic encounter.
But what's the
Here are
entire
the
point then?
instructions.
Run.
1.
Run.
Avoid going out alone if your location is known to have mimics, or there have been mimic sightings. 2. If you encounter a stationary mimic, seemingly unfazed by your presence, quietly leave the location and alert your local authorities. 3. If pursued by a mimic, get yourself into a position where you are able to flee. Mimics will rarely attack if a person has a clear escape route.
Right.
4. In the event that you have been cornered by a mimic, roll into the fetal position, protecting your neck, face, and vital organs from attack. Make as much noise as you can to alert any other people. 5.
Accept your
If
fate.
you have a weapon, do not use it. A mimic is fairly resilient, and any strikes or shots on a mimic is not effective enough to bring it down in time.
If you can't attack it, if you can't shoot it, how do you then deal with a mimic? Are you just gonna accept your fate? If you can't kill it, is a shotgun gonna be enough? Can I give it a double barrel to the face? What about a 50 cal?
Instead, use it as a barrier between you and the mimic to block any attacks. 6. In a situation where a mimic is hunting in the immediate area and is not aware of your position, hide somewhere low, like under a bed or behind other furniture. A mimic will not linger too long to search for prey and will move on.
Be safe, and avoid any encounters with a mimic at all costs.
What's the next one
up,
then?
The Harvester.
What is a harvester? Something sleeping was long. He slept for what seemed like forever, and he slept the land, and as he slept, the land around him changed and grew and was unrecognizable from the prince first arrived. But the sleep was needed to heal the prince. Much more time, but it kept the prince safe as he healed. Something from the elements and the land changed. Nah, screw that. Oh, you can hear the bones! Dude, this is super cool. I don't like this one bit, but I hate that I love it. It's super cool, man. If a mimic becomes a human, it will then lead humans over to more mimics. So the other mimics can also either become hunters or they can become humans. But what is the end goal? Like, if you take over the entire human population, then you can live on the overground overworld?
The Harvester.
We gotta search for this. Hold on. Gathered together of the flesh.
The Harvester is a large, bulbous mass, with a large amount of tendrils spreading from the base.
Kinda looks like the
bulb
sleeping
measures
pod from
around
Kingdom
3
Hearts
meters
2.
in height and 2 meters in diameter. The tendrils, on the other hand, can extend up to 150 meters in diameter
So it's like the Upside Down from Stranger Things. One of the tendrils can like grab a motherfucker and just like slide them all across the forest until you like trap them together and start digesting them.
Horizontally. The harvester is a specialized form of crawl that grows in a unique and deadly way. A harvester is created when a node that will grow into a harvester, instead of separating,
Yeah, so it
continues to grow.
Yeah.
Eventually, it will grow tendrils of its own. It uses the energy provided by its mother branch and expands its reach further. Its tendrils, hidden just below the surface of the ground.
Oh, that's the ground. Okay.
The harvester is equipped with two types of specialized tendrils. The first type is bulky and flat. They lie the closest to the surface. These branches are lined on each length of the tendril with spines, extending in the shape of a bear trap. On each side of the branch, those particular spines have a vein that feed into them, that pump two types of venom. On one side, the spines can inject a neurotoxin, which will attack the nervous system of whomever it is injected into,
So you get
causing
paralyzed?
sudden paralysis.
Yeah. And the other
The
one
other
is
side
digesting
can
you.
inject an anticoagulant, which when injected, prevents blood cells from clotting. Whenever a large animal moves across the area armed with these tendrils, the branches will clamp onto the animal and thrash violently. Once the prey has been injected with both venoms, the tendrils will rest and the prey will immediately collapse. The animal will be unable to move due to the paralysis, and the wounds caused by the thrashing spines will not stop bleeding. All the prey can do is lie patiently
Until it dies.
succumbing to blood loss.
And that feeds
Once the
straight
prey has
into the
bled
harvest.
out, the second type of tendrils come in. They lie below the spine equipped once. These branches are thick, but very sturdy. They share similar anatomy to the small branches of the crawl, equipped with organelle that absorbs nutrients. These tendrils sense the blood, and move their way to the surface and begin to absorb the vital fluid. Once the blood has been consumed, the tendrils will wrap around the body and begin to shuffle downwards. This movement loosens the soil and slowly pull the body underground. Once
you start-
secure, the tendrils will continue to feed until there is nothing but scraps.
Yeah.
The nourishment absorbed by the tendrils will be sucked back into the main bulb of the harvester.
So it grows, right?
This bulb houses all the vital organs and the venom glands that pump into the spines.
So what if you
The
shoot it?
nutrients are then converted into usable energy.
But again, what's
The
the end
remains
goal?
underground decompose, providing a rich soil, causing very prominent plant growth, which then attracts more animals.
That is so smart,
A strange behavior of the harvester
Did I
then
skip
attracts
something?
more animals. A strange behavior the harvester displays is its choice of diet. The spines will only activate on larger animals, allowing smaller ones to pass by unaffected. The spines will also not activate on some species of bird. There are a couple theories as to why this happens. One, it could be that attacking smaller animals would cost too much energy for what they get in return,
True.
making it not worth the time. Another could be that smaller animals may attract larger animals or predators, allowing a safe place where prey may thrive and lure more predators. It truly is astonishing. Although it is a spectacular creature, it is also very dangerous. The harvester is decently rare, only populating sparse areas in the
I'm still
northern
dead.
hemisphere.
I'm
and
still
woodland
dead,
forests.
guys.
If you are stung by a harvester, there will be no way of helping you, being that there is no cure, and fatality is 100% positive.
100%.
There is no cure, and fatality is 100% positive.
Family attacked by harvest something else. Authorities refuse to handle the harvester because it's that dangerous.
The best thing you can do is avoid encountering a harvester in the first place. If you are hiking, take note of any warnings or signs saying that there are harvesters around. If you also notice an abundance of lush, ground-dwelling plants in a forested area, and there are no signs of wildlife, this is suspicious and you should leave the area, staying close to the base of large trees or rocks. If you find yourself in the base of large trees or rocks,
Okay.
if you find yourself in the middle of a harvester ground, do not panic. Sudden movements may activate the tendrils and will inject you. Although a harvester is rather forgiving, do not risk any skittish movements. Remain calm. If you have any objects with considerable heft, like coats, backpacks, or full water bottles, gently take that object and lightly toss it towards the bulb, and away from your escape route. This will activate the spines on where the object lands, distracting the bulb for a moment. You will then slowly begin to do wide shuffles away from the bulb. If possible, throw another object when you are certain you are a fair enough distance away, just to be safe.
This song, Elena, is a gift to you. My sister, who had my husband's child. I'm pregnant with your husband, Ariana. I'll be a better wife than you ever were. Thank you for being so foolishly kind. The Adulteress's Aria. Yes, it's a song about you. The world is going to know who you are. They're going to talk about you, and they're going to remember you as a vulgar, despicable girl. I'll make you the most famous star who fell from the noblest of stages to the dirtiest of gutters. I promise. I hope you like it. The beautiful piece dedicated to my revenge. Perfect revenge.
Away, just to be safe. Continue until you are completely sure you are out of harm's way. You may come out unscathed, but don't be too obnoxious, or you will be a harvester's next meal.
They were like way too close. The guys took
Next
the
up
image.
is the host.
Host? The host? Oh, dude, this is too low quality. Outskirts during the time of hardship. Critters, the critters were struggling barely why food to go. They would gathered here. I have it on full HD, but for some reason I can't read it. It's like too low quality. YouTube compression really messed this one up. The host? So the host takes over what? Impermium Carnis. Limitlessness of the flesh.
The host of influence, more commonly referred to as the host, has its name derived from a host who invites guests to an event. Not to be confused with a host, a harborer of parasites or disease. Not to be host has its name derived from a host who invites guests to an event.
Okay.
Not to be confused with a host, a harborer of parasites or disease. The
So
host
it's a
is a
living being.
semi-humanoid looking organism. It has the structure of a head, torso, and arms. Other than this, it shares no other characteristics. The lower half of the host is comprised of a mass of fibrous tissue and tendrils.
So
that
the
grow
host
into the
could be a
ground to
fully
hold
grown
the host
mimic?
in place. Instead of skin, the host is covered in muscular tissue fibers, tendons, and veins. In some parts of the body are covered in a meaty plate, used to cover any large exposed areas, but allowing movement. The host's head has a smooth surface where the face should be, attached to a crooked neck, which houses a slit in the front used for feeding. On the host's back is a mound of pores. Protruding from these pores are hollow, hair-like structures, extending outwards. These hairs are barrels that release spores produced within host's body by being fired into the air. These spores are hazardous, so keep clear of them at all
Oh
costs.
shit, so it's like a killing floor
These spores are
monster.
hazardous, so keep clear of them at all costs.
That is definitely oh, that is 100% a killing floor zombie. Dude, no way. No actual way.
Luckily, the host is rare, only found in North America.
I'm safe. Woo!
Obtaining info about the host is a very risky and daunting task. This is because of their rarity and of how dangerous it is to be up close to one. The spores released by a host is very dangerous when inhaled. A host will release a cloud of spores into the air, which will be picked up by wind and carried great distances. If an organism inhales the spores, the particles will find their way into the organism's brain and infect them.
More like The Last of Us.
An infected organism will show no symptoms of infection right away, but a couple hours after infection the infected organism's behavior and thought process will change. The first symptoms that appear are restlessness, sluggish movement, numbness of joints, and lack of coordination. Then more serious symptoms appear over time. These include dizziness, migraines, impaired speech, and trembles.
So what happens when
If
you're
you
like...
or someone you know show these symptoms, contact poison control or emergency services.
What are like the final steps?
After a total of 6 to 7 hours after infection, the organism will cease all activities they were previously doing and begin to walk. The direction...
I'm sorry, what? So when you get poisoned, it takes time for like the spores to get in and take over your body. So when you're so it's just like The Walking Dead, basically. They take over your body, so you sit there, slowly die, and then once it has full control over your system and your nervous system, you start walking.
activities they were previously doing and begin to walk.
So do you become a host? You do become a host. You also turn
The
green.
direction the infected will walk is towards the host whose spores have been inhaled by the infected
And then-
individual. If the infected makes their way to the host, they will kneel down in front of it, expose their vital organs, and the host will promptly gut and remove those organs.
Ha, tengok je tahu. Burger ni padu. Kalau tak percaya, cubalah dulu.
I be waiting with no patience. I got plenty times that people try to steal my information like a good VPN. I got 2F on occasion. Shout out tourists for protecting me in all kind of occasions. Like securing my Christian, hiding where I'm living. I be too hot, so private protection. What I'm saying, all the facts, not some kind of story fiction. It's about damn time that you get a vacation from getting attacked from all over.
Organs, and the host will promptly gut and remove those organs. The host will consume them and discard the leftover scraps. However, if an infected organism doesn't reach the host within a 36-hour span or is treated for their infection, the effects will wear off and return back to normal.
Oh, good. Oh, so it's not actually deadly.
If a host is unable to find prey or doesn't like its current location, it will unroot itself and move to a new location. Their scarce numbers and the hazard of being around one makes getting info about the host very daunting. All you need to currently know is that the host is extremely dangerous.
Just wear a
and should
gas
be
mask.
avoided at all costs.
Just wear a gas
Next.
mask.
The monoliths.
Although one day the critters found the cave while searching for food, they found the prince in a trance in his healing sleep. The critters were so in awe, struck, and enchanted by the prince's magic. Colum Carnis? The heaven of the flesh.
The monoliths. The monolith is a very new creature, only showing up in June of 1972, in the area of... There are only 7 monoliths, all of them located in a circular position,
So it's
1.5 kilometers
it's
in
an-
diameter.
It's an
This
Evangelion
ring
reference.
of monoliths surround... The monolith is a Titanic-sized being, measuring roughly 120 meters in height. Each monolith has 2 trunk legs that are firmly embedded underground.
Oh my God.
The legs connect to a torso.
That's why it's called the heaven of
The
the
creature
flesh.
itself is made of hundreds of thousands of meaty strands, tightly woven together to form the structure. These strands end at the neck, fusing into a solid mass of hardened flesh in the shape of an upside-down triangle.
Wait. Structure on the top of the body is capable of releasing large bellows of noise. In one of these cases, an EMP pulse that can disable electronics. So they're like, what are they trying to do? If they gather enough monoliths, they can basically EMP the entire world? Right? There's somewhere in Canada. Well, Canada's fucked, guys.
With a hole in its center. On each side of the monolith where arms would be, there are
Sway and
dozens
strike
of long,
any
rope-like
frets,
appendages.
any
These reach
large
just barely
passing
to
through.
the ground. At the creature's feet, the strands go deep into the earth and extend horizontally a decent distance away. What the monoliths do is simply stand and do nothing. The only activity documented that the monoliths have done was in... During this period, they were extremely aggressive. When the group of
Come on, man.
were
Come.
making their way to the city, the monolith that they had passes roared a deep bellow and swung its appendages at the team, completely wiping them out. When military
It's gotta be
vehicles were
war-related.
dispatched,
It's
once
definitely
they got
war-related.
close enough top the monolith, it roared another call, this time releasing an EMP blast, completely knocking the vehicles out in the vicinity. Finally, long-distance rockets were fired and struck the creature.
And then, it's 100% government or war related. That's the reason why it's redacted.
Although damaged, it regenerated at great speed and resumed its stance unscathed. Eventually,
Can it
the
just
area
nuke
has
it?
been fenced off and is now restricted to all.
Why don't you just
Ever
nuke it?
since, the monolith stands silently, now only a grand spectacle of awe and mystery, only adding more questions to these meat beings. And finally, the last creature on this list is...
Is it a blood moon? Is it an entire moon? Or is it another world? Is it another globe? Is it... Dude! I wish I could read, but I can't.
marvelous and majestic world that exists today. It's as extraordinary to have such strange and mysterious beings appear all around us. Thank you for joining us on this journey of exploration
Wait, so
and
that's
discovery
it?
of the lives of these living meat
No,
creatures.
that's not... Oh, we got more videos. We're only halfway through. This is the entire one. Okay, this is the entire video going through everything and all. So we are going... Wait, there's a document. Oh, wait, there's singularity. Hold on. Let me skim through this real quick. We go through the trimmings. We go through the roots. We talk about photosynthesis. Then we go through, the trimmings. And then we go through the meat snake. And then after that, we go through the mimic. And after the mimic, we then go through the advanced version. And then we have the harvester. After harvester, we have the host. And after the host, we have the monolith. And then at the end of the monolith...
And finally, the last creature on this list is...
Oh my god, here it is. The singularity. Vernum Carnis. Off the flesh, just off the flesh. Varum. If it's varun with N, it's we were of the flesh.
The singularity is an orb comprised of a dark-colored mineral with hints of luminous colors within its core. The singularity is estimated to be 1 meter in diameter. The orb has several unique qualities that are not well understood. The singularity typically can be found suspended in air by an unseen force. There are also a variety of reading that have been documented coming from the orb itself. Various things like magnetic fields, energy signatures, and other pattern-like signals released by the singularity. The population of these creatures is unknown. Almost all info about the singularity is hidden or confiscated by officials. We were only able to receive one classified document about the singularity being held by...
I want to know more. I want to know so much more about the singularity.
One classified document about the singularity being held by...
I want to know more. I want to know so much more about the singularity. I don't believe it's possible. Even if I screenshotted this, right, and I put it into Photoshop, I won't be able to read it because of all of the static. There is definitely something hidden within this text here. I can see... Oh, wait, hold on. Other patterns releasing from the singularity. Bin something, air unseen forces, unique patterns, 1 meter. Oh wait, it's the same document. I believe it might be the same document.
marvelous and majestic world that exists today. It's as extraordinary to have such strange journey.
So what's the next? What's the next though? Cook at home? So we're gonna... Now we are literally cooking. We're gonna talk about how we're gonna...
The greatest discovery of the age.
We're gonna talk... We're gonna talk about how we can cook the meat, guys.
Have any information of the whereabouts of... Have any...
Wanted by the CSI? Vincent. Date of birth. Medium. Black hair. Brown eyes. What? If you have any information concerning, please contact. Photograph taken in 1988.
Information of the whereabouts of...
Be making a dish that has recently gained a fair amount of popularity. Today's dish will be a cheesy crawl penne.
Yeah, the crawler. Yeah, the crawler was the one that we talked about. But is it delicious? Does it even taste good to make a crawler meat?
To start off, these will be the ingredients you will need.
Cheese
3
crawler
cups of
pasta.
penne pasta. Roughly 3 cups worth of fresh crawl. Try to get a variety of sizes when you buy yours, or when you harvest them yourself. 1 cup of cheese. Half a cup of green onion.
And a crawler.
1 teaspoon of salt. 2 tablespoons of Cajun spice.
And a crawler.
2 tablespoons of parsley.
And a crawler.
1 tablespoon of dill.
And a crawler.
1 tablespoon of garlic. A pinch of pepper. And finally, the most crucial ingredient. Nutrier Company's newly released flavor enhancer.
To bring out the richness,
of flavors within each and every meal.
Okay. Why?
First, get a medium-sized pot and fill half of it with water.
Nice job, buddy.
Add a pinch of salt, which is used to help the pot come to a boil faster and help flavor the pasta. Then, set aside to boil. Grab your crawl and a sharp knife. Begin to cut the meat into a rough mince.
I'ma be like completely honest, this does not look appetizing at all. Yeah, night hack, yeah, nah, you know, I'll skip, you know, the whole idea about eating the crawl was probably a bad idea. Yeah, no, you know, I'll skip, yeah, definitely.
Crawl is soft on the outside, but the interior has a surprising sturdiness.
I believe I'm gonna skip on this one.
Grab your skillet and preheat with along some oil.
I don't like this. This is
Take your minced crawl and spread it evenly across the skillet.
I take everything back, chat. Yeah, no, please don't.
Stir occasionally until crisp and brown. As your water reaches a boil, add your penne and stir occasionally.
I love that you can see like you can see the line. You can see if you look closely, right? There's a line right here. That's like where the steam, like the transparent video that they put on top. Basically, you can see it, right? The line right here is like the footage that they use to put steam on top of the image. Dude, I cannot unsee it now.
Soft. At this time, your crawl will be brown and crisp.
It looks more like
Add
minced
your
meat.
Green onion and then the spices.
It looks more like minced meat now.
Mix well. Once your pasta is finished cooking, strain it.
Listen to the music closely. What am I supposed to listen to?
Lay your cooked penne evenly into your dish.
You hear it when it happens? Okay.
Then add the crawl topping. Sprinkle a generous amount of cheese along the still warm crawl for it to melt.
It loops? Yeah, I can imagine.
At this point, finish preparing the dish with your flavor enhancer, but allow your dish to cool to a temperature below 60 degrees Celsius, or else the enhancer will not work.
You hear it, Stanley? No, I don't hear it.
And
What am I supposed to
you
hear?
may serve and enjoy.
Is it a Mogus? I don't hear Mogus. Who are they?
Bila prestasi tinggi kerja pun jalan laju dengan Huawei MatePad Pro 13.2 inci ini. Ini adalah 4 sebab yang menjadikan ia bakal jadi productivity tablet terbaik.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Although the other critters ignore the rest of their fellow kind, instead they secretly visited the slumbering visitor. They snuck what little food they had and carefully fed it to the prince, greatly hastening the recovery. Next one.
Many people get pets for companionship.
Vita Carnis Guide to Owning a Trimming?
They form bonds and grow relationships with these animals, even to the point of them being considered a part of the family. Most people get dogs or cats, but maybe you
little
want something more
corgi.
interesting.
A trimming.
Then you may want to get yourself a trimming.
What the fuck?
These lumps of meat have grown a reputation to be a loving companion for many people in the recent months. Although most people may not know the proper ways to care for them. Today, we will be showing you how you can care for your pet trimming.
That's not a pet, that is a dying animal!
Taking care of a trimming is fairly easy, but this is no reason to slack off. They are living things and do require maintenance.
Yeah, just like regular
The
animals
first thing
do.
to keep in mind when keeping a trimming is the temperature of your home. While trimmings are resilient to both high and low conditions, you want to keep your base temperature near room temp, maybe slightly cooler. That being said, trimmings prefer warmer areas to nest. A simple setup you may use is a box with some blankets on the inside. Make sure there is enough for your trimming to cover itself. And now, you have a comfy bed for your buddy. Next, you want to give your trimming the best diet possible.
So that's like just scrap, just like...
Trimmings are not picky eaters, and will eat anything you give them. To keep your trimming healthy...
Did you just call your trimming Angelica? Oh, Angelica, dinner's ready!
A diet of dry cat or dog food that is high in protein, provided 2 times a day, is best.
Dude, this is creepy
as a treat, you may give your trimming any scraps of your food. Things like apple cores, banana peels, or eggshells are a perfect snack. A thing to remember is trimmings are nocturnal and make plenty of noise.
I think I'll skip. Yeah, you know, why would you have a...
To prevent you from having sleepless...
I think I'll skip. Yeah, you know, why would you have a...
To prevent you from having sleepless nights. A thing to remember is trimming.
This is creepy
as a
as...
treat.
Angelica, dinner's ready!
A diet of dry cat or dog food that is high in protein, provided 2 times a day, is best.
Dude, this is creepy
as a treat, you may give your trimming any scraps of your food. Things like apple cores, banana peels, or eggshells are a perfect snack. A thing to remember is trimmings are nocturnal and make plenty of noise.
I think I'll skip. Yeah, you know, why would you have a...
To prevent you from having sleepless nights, try to give your trimmings first meal in the late morning or afternoon. This helps them be active during these times instead. Another thing to consider if you want a pet trimming is where they will be living. Your home should have enough space for your trimming to roam around, as well as access to the outdoors, like a backyard. If not, be sure to take your trimmings on regular walks.
How fast do
This gives
they
your
walk,
trimming
though?
the exercise they need, as well as allowing them to meet other trimmings. Trimmings are a social creature and need to interact with others of their kind, like how they do in the wild. When it comes to entertainment, trimmings are not the most active and aren't the best at fetch.
Come on, Angelica, grab the ball
But here are
now.
other ways to keep your trimming entertained. Some toys that trimmings like are little items they can push, around, pull, or carry. Trimmings also enjoy things that you enjoy as well,
Like watching
like
TV?
watching the television or listening to the radio. They love seeing and listening to all the funny things coming from the devices.
Especially static, right?
After a long day,
What's happening? Oh, okay.
After a long day, your trimming might be dirty and need a wash. To clean them, start your bath with a gentle warm water, mixed with a bit of hand or body wash. Gently scrub the trimming's feet, armpits, belly, and neck fold. Remember to be careful around their face, and avoid getting soap in their eyes, nose, and mouth.
That's normal.
Gently pat dry with a towel when done. Now your buddy is all clean.
Honestly, guys, would you have a trimming as a pet?
With a towel when done. Belly and neck fold. Remember to be careful around their face, and avoid getting soap in their eyes, nose, and mouth.
That's normal.
Gently pat dry with a towel when done. Now your buddy is all clean.
Honestly, guys, would you have a trimming as a pet? I would.
And lastly,
What's the meme? What's the meme? Hold on. I gotta find a meme real quick.
Honestly, if I saw that damn thing in my living room, I'd stomp on it until it was a small brown stain.
as said before, trimmings are social creatures, so be sure to give them plenty of affection. They love receiving pats, scratches, and pets. They also love to sit with you and cuddle. Since they communicate with each other in the wild, it is best to replicate this behavior with them as well.
So when you're like, "Ah! I'm going mentally insane.
Simply talking to them is plenty enough.
But if you scream at them,
Talk about your day, if anything interesting happened at work, if you are working on any new recipes, or talk about the weather. Trimmings are very good listeners and love to be involved. With all of these in mind,
He
you are
looks
now
super
well equipped
sick.
to have a trimming become a part of the family.
he looks super sick.
Do things right, and you will have a companion for a long while.
But dogs also live 8 to 12 years, dude. Oh, no, oh. Here we go. One day, the prince awoke suddenly thanks to the critter's assistance. The healing process has finished very quickly. The prince had fully recovered and was now fully awake and aware of their surroundings. Surprised by the sudden awakening, the critter ducked and hid from the prince. What's the next one? Archive foot meat snake?
In the year of 1945, with the war finally ended, the cleanup process had started. During routine sweep of an underground train tunnel, the cleanup crew made a grotesque discovery.
The 40-meter snake, the Drake video.
Completely filling the tunnel was a meaty wall, and in the center of the mass was an opening with several skulls surrounding it.
The Drake video.
Closer inspection of the blockage revealed that the mass was actually an extremely engorged meat snake. Its impeccable size had blocked off the entirety of the tunnel's path. There was many strange things with this creature. First was the coloration. A typical meat snake's color is bright reds and light browns. This particular meat snake was a very deep maroon. Another
Maroon, that's
strange
blue,
thing
right?
about it was its behavior. This creature barely moved. Meat snakes are normally sluggish and encumbersome, but the specimen discovered seemed to lack even basic motor functions. Its behavior was that of a plant's, stationary, with only minor movements within.
It would make sense if
One would
people were just
assume
like
it was dead.
feeding Maroonish dark wet.
The
I'm
reason
stupid.
The meat snake may act this way may be because it was completely lodged in place and minimized movements to conserve energy. But how would it have gotten this deep into the tunnel in the first place? And by the looks of weathering, it had been in there for quite some time. So how did it get so large? The answer was discovered by a different cleaning crew, who found the other end of the tunnel. They followed it until it met with the other end of the meat snake.
And there you see all the
Alongside it was
skeleton.
a huge pile of
A huge pile of what now?
snake. Alongside it was a huge pile of
Oh, fuck, I was right. Of carcasses?
This meat snake's skin also displayed great amounts of resilience. It took several days of cutting to even obtain a sample.
But how do you kill
You
it?
can see the clear difference between this meat snake specimen
Yeah, okay.
versus a normal meat snake's
Yeah,
membrane.
left is the
Testing
one.
on the sample showed that it had great immunity to damage. It tolerated extreme freezing temperatures, extreme heat temperatures, and even high doses of radiation. It is a wonder how such durability can occur in an organic creature.
But
Another
did
strange
they kill
phenomenon
it? Did
is
they
the
get rid of
smell
it?
off the skin. Normally, it would have a sour smell of rotting flesh. But the specimen displayed a rather pleasant smell, like that of cooking scrambled eggs. Meat snake was later discovered to be missing by unknown survivors.
So-
meat snake
So the meat.
was later
You're telling me that the 40-meter meat snake suddenly vanished into thin air?
discovered to be missing by unknown. How the meat snake grew in size was discovered to be
How did it just suddenly disappear? That doesn't make any sense. That it just got... One of the critters built up the courage to meet the now awake stranger. Hey. They crawled to the prince and extended their hand in friendship. The prince reached back and together they had a formal bond and they were something. They were cringe, changed their fate, and that would change their fate. Dude, how did they even do that? We have a 20-minute video on mimic defense. I gotta get something to eat and drink. Holy shit. I got myself a couple of cheeses, a good amount of chalky milk, and now we're gonna get instructions on how to... The mimic!
As of the time of this video's release, we have been facing a concerning increase of missing persons and fatalities on a global scale. The reason for this is because we are under attack.
By the mimics.
We have discovered that there has been a significant growth of mimic populations, which is threatening public safety. National leaders have released this instructional recording to teach you on how to defend yourself. Here is what you need to know about the threat. Mimics are humanoid, intelligent predators that are highly adaptive and feed solely on human prey. Mimics gain information on people by watching their daily lives and pick to hunt people when they are most vulnerable. The most common times a mimic will attack is when you are asleep, out walking alone, or in a cornered position. Mimics are cautious and calculative creatures, taking precautions to ensure a successful hunt. They utilize various tactics to capture a person by surprise. One of the more well-known tactics is hiding itself inside of furniture to blend into its environment.
Just like the chair I talked about earlier.
Common objects that mimics can hide inside are sofas, recliners.
Dude, I was actually spot on. He said recliners.
Common objects that mimics can hide inside are sofas, recliners.
So there is definitely a scenario where you come home to your living room chair and the mimic is just sitting inside of it. And as soon as you're in the chair, it'll rip it to pieces in order to try and get to you.
Wardrobes, ottomans, and other places a mimic can comfortably wait. Mimics are able to contort their body in ways that allow them to fit inside smaller places.
Nah.
They also use it to expand their body, making themselves appear larger for intimidation. Another method mimics use to blend in is their ability to put on and wear clothing.
Oh, that's...
Mimics put on layers of shirts,
oh,
pants,
nah,
and jackets
that's
to hide
creepy.
their bright red skin and blend into densely populated areas. In very rare cases, mimics can develop and grow to look very similar to human beings. Pairing this with clothing, it can be very hard to tell the difference between a mimic and a person right away. If you are unsure if a person is a mimic, look out for key features that may reveal their true form.
Yeah, I can see it.
Look for abnormal facial features, like large. True form. Look for abnormal facial features,
like brightly colored skin and weird jaw. The guy on the left. And this is me after consuming one gas station Sasa. Wait, abbreviatus?
Honestly, if I saw that damn thing in my living room, I'd stomp on it until it was a small brown stain.
What is it called? Abbreviatus. Abbreviated. Oh, okay.
Like large, bulbous eyes, flat noses, wide mouths and an uncanny smile, and clammy skin.
Is Squirrel with a Gun still not out? Still coming soon? But go back though. Because hold on, there's another game. What?
Legendary! Double kill!
Ain't no love my man, shoo up, shoo up.